3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for another episode of Along with FVR. Today is going to be a reflection episode, thinking about what happened during the last days. There was something called Practicum, there was something called action learning, and there was something about people who were grading on our messages, because we're going to read the messages and we're going to be discussing what has been going on. So let's go with one of the first questions that were in the chat many days ago. Alberto Rodriguez from Houston is asking, Profesor, ¿por dónde anda usted? Like, hey bud, where you at? And right now we are on the BatuBatu, the Tengah Island in the Mersing state of Malaysia. We are here for a Practicum, which is like a 1-week intensive action learning project to realize how sustainability can help the business of this place and how they can improve their numbers, either by financial statements or by manpower or by other metrics that allows the evaluation of a company to say, yeah, it can be good. In this case, the company is the BatuBatu resort, and they want to see how much they can be more efficient with their budgets. So there is that. Let's go with another question in the chat. Aldo Arellano from Guayaquil is asking, Pana, es muy difícil lo que dices en tu video. ¿Por qué no te agarras este equipo de micrófonos que te vamos a mandar para que los conectes al celular? So in English it's like, hey bro, it's a little hard to hear some of the videos and we need to know if you are using this other equipment. So thank you, Aldo, for being concerned about the quality. Yes, right now we are using an equipment. There are mosquitoes. Check this out. An equipment that was from the DigiPower. I guess that was the name that you got for $40, and it has a tripod, it has a microphone, it has a light, and it's very cool because it's very portable. The problem is that the microphone itself is already connected to the jacket of the phone, and that's how you generate the sound. And I understand that from time to time there will be some issues with the quality because we don't have a studio. And when I say we don't have a studio, it's me, myself, and Fabian. Okay? Because we wanted to do outside to capture the outdoors, to capture the environment, to capture what it is to live outside. Because I believe many people have been living inside for many years, like 2 years or a little more. So it's time to go and smell the roses. But equipment, of course, when we increase the budget, we increase the quality, absolutely. So thank you, Aldo, and I hope everything is going well in Guayaquil. Now, let's go to another question that we received. Hernan Buis from Germany. He has been asking how has been the weather. Like, when was the time I got a chance to talk with Christine? When was that? Thank you, Hernan. So, for many who doesn't know, Christine is an actually very well-known figure in petroleum engineering. And people have been actually reading their papers or their books. And we decided to record that around, it was a little bit after Thanksgiving. Yes, it was a little bit after Thanksgiving. Because I got the podcast equipment around 2 days after Thanksgiving because of the deals. So I got a very nice value. And then I decided, let's start testing this. And we wanted to start experimenting and also documenting, because this is also about documenting. It's not about the views. It's about documenting memories. And Christine wanted, okay, you can pass by my place. We can find a nice view. We can catch part of the city. and we can start talking. And because I arrived late, that's the issue. I arrived late to the meeting because I had some other things to do before, and of course the traffic is always a big issue. When I arrived, it was like 30 minutes a little late. My bad, because we'd have the chance to even go a little further, but at least we got an episode, and at least people can remember that, and at least you can say, hey, this is kind of my tribute in life, because the last thing you want is to remember somebody or remember something when they are not among us. It's better to pay tribute in life, and that was my way to also pay tribute to Christine in life. So thank you, Hernan, for the question. Let's go with another one. Liz Hampton from Denver, Colorado is asking, so how is it going there? Right now in Denver is cold, there is snow, and people will be doing the snowboarding or this sky, you know. But here it's pretty tropical. I would say hot around 90 Fahrenheit, sometimes 95, 100, and the humidity is usually a little high, and it's because it's closer to the equator line. As well, we can say that the little details can help you understand a little more. For example, when you go to any public place to eat, you realize, okay, instead of the fork and the knife, they give you a fork and a spoon. I didn't understand until some told me, look, you need to use the spoon to cut the soft meat, like certain kind of tofu, certain kind of chicken, certain kind of meat. And then with the fork, you actually pick and eat. Now, when you have to use the rice, of course, you can gather everything with the fork, and then you use the spoon. Okay, that's a nice way to play it. Another way to say how things are doing here. When I arrived, the local currency was equal like a Dogecoin was around 24 cents. It's still 24 cents. The problem is Dogecoin went down, but eventually will go up. So if you hold, okay, hold for your dear life, and then you have options to let's say use your banking account, and then you can use the phone to pay with the phone, or you scan a QR code and you pay through the code. Things are a little different, and I would say a little easier for certain kinds of payments. Of course, that in order to open an account, you need to show what are you doing here, and you need to know what else is going to be happening. And it's like, we're going to take our time, we're going to review the documentation, we're going to review things that are supposed to be, things that are not supposed to be, and we can call you. Don't call us, we will call you. So that's how you usually get things around. And of course, I also see here the policy that if you see something, say something, because they want also to fight corruption. So if you see something, say something. At least do that. Okay? So that's how is it going, Liz? And thanks for writing on this message. Let's go with another one. Slavko Toshik is asking, how are you doing, my friend? How are things and exams and everything? Well, thank you, Slavko. Things has been like intense, because for the last before coming to the Practicum, we literally got more exams than weekends. Think about that. We got more exams than weekends. So if we got 3 weekends, we got 4 exams. That's how intense it was. But it's alright. You can live by. That's why I couldn't visit again. I know that you are busy right there in KL. So we're gonna catch up. And I hope you also enjoy the episode that Christine, because for the people who doesn't know, Slavko was also a student of Christine back in the day, and he got his PhD. Now all of the students, he got the chance to move here, and it's like, okay, let's meet another friend, and that's how you make the connection. So there is that. I hope that answers your question, Slapko. Let's see another one. Let's see another one. Let's see. Vicente Barrera, my brother, how you doing, man? So he's asking, like, have you seen what happened with PSG? Well, he's right now trying to poke at me because he is a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, a Real Madrid fan, and I am a Leo Messi fan and Barcelona fan back in the day, and used to go back and forth. We sometimes used to watch Clásicos, and yeah, I saw what happened. I hope you're happy, okay? Because yeah, PSG was winning the series, not 1-0, but 2-0 in the aggregate. In the second part of the qualification, like they were actually winning 2-0 with the advantage of the visiting goal, and then Real Madrid has to score 3 goals in less than 45 minutes, and that's what they did, because PSG didn't have any defense, and that made a lot of Real Madrid fans, that made Vicente Barrera happy. So I hope you're happy, okay? By the way, I hope the barbecue chimney is going well. If you are in Guayaquil and you have the chance to visit Vicente, do it, because he does very good barbecue. He has that adjustable grill, and you can put the wood, and you can have specific cycles to do the cooking of the meat or whatever you like. Very nice chimney, very nice treatment, very nice way to deal and handle the delicacy that barbecue meat is. So I hope everything is doing well, Vicente. So take care. Let's see another one. Diego Molinari from Venezuela. He's not actually asking, but he's saying that he's very happy about the podcast. He's happy about the episodes. Like, are you there? How is it going? Like, what kind of program? And it's like, first and foremost, thank you, Diego, for the note. It's really encouraging. Things has been doing fine. Right now, that we're doing is an MBA, Masters in Business Administration. And how that happened is that I applied to MIT Sloan, and then I got the chance to go through the rounds, go the interviews and everything. But then they say, like, we wish you were a little younger, or you applied earlier, and there is no room at this time. But there is a global program we have, and has not only one action learning, but has 4 action learnings. Will you entertain them? And they say, sure, let me know about it. And for people who is still unfamiliar, action learning is you have the opportunity not to learn, but also do during the semester with an actual company who has an actual program. So imagine, all of a sudden you have the chance to practice what you've done or learned on your courses throughout the semester with an actual company, with actual data, with actual products. It's enticing, and you do it on teams. So you can also start managing app, or you can also be smart and sharp, or whatever you like to say about it. And it's not only one, because I know other programs that only give you 1, but this one gives you 4. And of course, in between you have the internship that you have to acquire some way, somehow. So that's what you got. And it's actually very cool, because you can produce deliverables, you can produce posters that capture the essence and the reports and everything. So I bet most of you already saw in LinkedIn the first poster that we did. The first poster was about Sapporo Energy and how you can turn around a company using an ESG narrative. And some friends say, but do you really believe ESG? And it's like, I only believe in action learning. Okay? And that's what people were trying to see, how all of a sudden a conservative person from the oil and gas industry is trying to understand about the ESGs. Okay, first, I'm not conservative or liberal. I'm mostly libertarian. So if you are into that, sorry for that. Okay. And second, it really had me the chance to understand how the ESG works, because there's good ESG and there is also bad ESG. But you can read the poster to see how a good ESG is. Now, currently we are in a project with Airasia, which is about how to improve the faith-based lifestyle application. And it's like we need to increase the frequency of daily users and monthly users and conversions into leads, whatever that means. So we have to use product management to improve the app. That means we have to download the app and see which are the problems, find some users, create personas, and A/B testing, and then try to see if the recommendations can represent actual deliverables. And that's what has been going on with this project, which is very cool, because Airasia, an airline company who has an application, is aspiring to become a super app like Grab or the other ones you already know around the world. So thank you, Diego, for the application. I hope and your family is doing fine, because it's always good to see friends doing well. Let's see another one. Sixto Chang from Guayaquil, my brother. How you doing, man? So he's asking if, have you seen the news? Are they still buying Russian oil? Yes, they're still buying Russian oil. And we usually talk about economics, finance, and the things that people love to understand. Okay, what is this going on? Is there something in between? Is there like a deal going on? So for people who don't know, Sixto has been a friend since my days in College Station. That among Lorena Garcia, there was something called the embassy. And from time to time, we used to gather, we used to do things that Latinos do. Yes, like going dancing in other places, or hosting some parties, or hosting some cookouts, which was very good back in the day, like 2010, 2011, 2012, and part of 2013. He helped me to actually move from College Station to Houston on that, it was on that Friday, January 16 of 2013. How was that moving? Well, we had to move the couch and everything that I had in my little apartment, and we rented a big U-Haul truck to go from College Station to Houston, which was around a 2-hour drive. Well, it was 1 hour and 30, but because you carry all your things, and then sign the papers, sign the leasing, and then go back and clean and everything. So everything was done in like one day, and everything was exhausting. We ended, we started at 10 a.m., we ended around 8 p.m. It was cold because it was January, and then we visited somebody that I was seeing back in the day in other place, and things were fine. Things were fine back then. So then when we met again for one of the cookouts in College Station, he was trying to say goodbye to everybody because he was traveling. And then I say, hey, I'm gonna be out of during the same dates. I won't be there, so I wish you the best. But I'm gonna give you my key, so you, instead of spending money in any hotel, just stay at my place because you helped me build the place. And okay, he used my apartment to stay the last days in Houston before he has his trip. So I still remember that, and of course every time I am in Guayaquil, we had the chance to catch up. He sometimes says like, hey, people saw you, where are you going? And we ask and answer the phone. So I hope everything is going well, Sixto. I hope your family is doing fine. So thanks for asking. Let's go with another one. Osvaldo Sanchez. He's asking me, Fabian, I saw your episodes. They're fine, but I want to ask you, in which app you see the game? In the cell or in the computer? Well, sometimes I see the games when I have the chance for the Thanks for asking, Osvaldo. I know we are catching up a lot. There is an application called Pirlo TV, or there is another one called Clásico, where you can actually stream. I know that can be questionable apps, but those are the good ones that you can have if there is some problems with geolocation, or there is some problems with, let's say, copyrights, people trying to ask you a lot of money for TV. I'm not sponsoring those, but if you don't have the time to either go to other places, or you don't have a local TV, or in the streaming services for some reason it's not working, you have to do what you have to do. And I'm happy that Osvaldo was very happy with using the application. For people who doesn't know, Osvaldo was a friend when I was doing my undergrad, and we were like, okay, always checking numbers, or always doing some internships on other places, because that's how you do with people. You usually catch up, you usually talk about, you usually realize things that you are supposed to do, things that are not supposed to do, and sometimes laughing about your friends that are doing things that they are not supposed to do. So there is that. So thanks, Osvaldo, for the question. Let's see another one. Let me see. Yula is asking. Qué bueno oír de ti, Fabián. ¿Cómo están las cosas por allá? Well, things has been alright. I guess we already asked this before and we already answered. For people who don't know, Yulia was a good friend who helped me get things sorted out last summer. Very good. It was like a good trade. Like if they needed help, I was able to do it, and they also helped me, which was also very important. I cannot stress enough how relevant was the intervention of Julia Vicen in those days, because in connotation, to start a program you need to receive a student visa, and the issue is there was an actual ban on people from South America, people who had South American passports. So there were clients that all of a sudden they were like, but you're not here. And it's like, no, I'm still here. And it's like, no, you don't, because you say you were leaving. And it's like, but I still cannot leave because there is this pending paperwork. So some clients all of a sudden decide to ghost, and things become a little harder. And then Julia was like, no problem, I can help. And there was a good trade, and it also helped me to overcome certain things that were a little difficult during that time. And I cannot be thankful enough about how paramount was her help during those days, because in context, I was supposed to be traveling around September 6th, but because they saw that I choose to board in Ecuador, and my passport was something that they say you have a hold, and we thought it was of the vaccination thing. So we showed the certificate, and it was like, no, it's because of your passport, because right now we are a little close to borders, and even if you have a good reason to come here, you need to wait. You have to wait. That's what we did. I waited until they finally say your paperwork is approved, you are good to go, and then that's how we arrived here. So thank you, Julia, for helping during that time. It was very useful, and I also hope that things are doing well on your end, because the business was getting better for some reason. It was getting more disciplined, so I guess part of my intervention was also good to help the business going. So I really hope everything is going well on your end, Julia. So thanks for asking. Let's see another one. Let me see. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. Oh, I forgot. Álvaro Isurieta from Quito, Ecuador, was sending some memes, but it was good to bring him in the discussion right now, because He has been a friend. Usually we exchange some information about technicalities in oil and gas. He actually asked me what was my current plans last summer, and I told him that I was about to start this program. And he was happy right there in Halliburton. I guess he was in Petroleum before. He usually is presenting papers, or finding documentation. So it's good that the literature is always advancing. He is one of those that is actually taking the post and keep moving forward. So, in context as well, there are not so many people from Ecuador that are contributing at this level. And to see that you have peers around the world is very fine. And I cannot stress enough about the help that I received from him back in the LACPEC of 2020. Yes, it was supposed to be LACPEC 2019, but in the end it was LACPEC 2020. And thanks to him, I got the chance to register. Because that's something that happens in some conferences. It's not about that you only got a good documentation to present in a technical auditorium, but you also need to pay. And that's a thing that happened very hard back at the beginning of the pandemic. People didn't have enough, and it was okay, I can help you, so you can help me later. And I said, sure, I can do that. And that's what we did. And that's also critique about the Society of Petroleum Engineers. People already saw what has been going on the LinkedIn, that how do you explain that it's mostly a volunteer NGO, but the CEO of the NGO and the top brass are always getting paid, and getting paid a lot. Mostly like 4 times, 5 times the average petroleum engineer. We're talking about $500,000 or a little more. How is that? And then you say that you need to pay your fees. So there's some self-reflection on that committee, especially because right now they want to merge with the American Association of Petroleum Geologists. So it's something that the paid members, the full members, the gold members have to reflect about it if they are going to approve the merger or not. I'm going to stay out of that discussion because I guess I already did my time. So thanks Alvaro for asking. I hope things are going fine right there. Let's see, other one. Sevalov Golodorov from Houston is actually sending greetings and wishing that things are doing better. Sevalov was a friend from the Petroleum Geologists Association who we used to hang around during the network meetings, and he is also very proficient in the piano. I remember that I learned some tips about him, how to play the piano. So if you remember back in the day how I was posting some videos playing piano, yeah, it's because I got some tips from him. So there is that. And he was always proficient to say tips about running, because he also enjoys running, and not to work out too much, because that was something that I was surprised. One day, Sevalov was coming to one of those events, and he was with a boot, because all of the sudden he was running, and then his ankle snapped or something, and he has to be with a boot for like 3 weeks or something. So I hope things are doing fine, Sevalov. Let's go with another one. Danilo Arcentales. Danilo Arcentales says, thanks for doing the podcast. It's about cryptos and else. Yes, it's about cryptos and else. Like cryptos and something else. Danilo has been a friend that we used to play football, and we also did our undergrad. We actually were part of the team Sips Campeador, who became champion back-to-back. So he is one of the witnesses when I saved I did 2 saves in the penalty shootout to become back-to-back champions. So we usually joke around, or it's like the time to play. We usually keep our skills in top performance when I am in Guayaquil. And like back in the day, I was helping a little project that they had, and there was an opportunity to give something back. So there is that. And I know that you are busy right now with your family, so please don't be so busy, okay? If you are committed to play football, and don't all of a sudden say like, I have something new to do. Just say it up front. But of course, it's always good to have you on the team, and I hope that things are doing fine on your well. So thanks for asking, Daniel. Let's do someone. How much we have? Like 40 minutes. Brian McAfee from Houston. He's actually not asking anything, but just saying good things about the adventure. So, in context, Brian McAfee is a friend that is from the program of Petroleum Engineering at Texas A&M, and we were usually volunteering on the paper contest that happens in January every year. So it was always a good excuse to travel with friends to the alma mater to see how things are going, and we usually catch up even at the barbecue after. And of course, I shared with him some of the news that was going on during the last summer, and he suggested me there are some good articles to pray. I remember that during the first weekend of classes, he was like, okay, let's go to this place and pray, because it's good to have a God and always omnipresent on your activities. So there is that. It was always good to have that thing going on. And he also helped me to be like, well, if there is things that you have to sell and you need someone that is in town, let me know. And that's what happened. I found some items that I needed to sell. And he was like, okay, no worries, I'm going to collect the money and I will transfer to you. And that has been going on. And he may say, well, what has been the things, which are the things going on? What is happening? And then he was like, look at that, you've seen the price of oil and the rig count. And of course, people is excited, but you have to be not a prisoner of the moment. Like, always try to get the picture, the bigger picture ahead. So thank you, Brad, for all your help. Thank you for everything. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Tom Slasher, how are things in that place, man? Is people treating you well, man? When is the new trip going on, man? Brother, thanks for reaching out. This has been fine. There's been memes from time to time that have been posting. The learning experience has been fantastic. There is no better way to learn about business than by mens at manus. I mean, by the action learning. Potentially, I'm gonna be in Cambridge, Massachusetts, in later part of April and the early part of May. So if you are in town, go and visit. Most likely, I'm not gonna be in Space Town, okay? But you can visit Cambridge. If you haven't been there, you can be there, okay? Otherwise, I will understand. There is a next time. There is always a next time. It's like life in the big city, but you are not living in a big city. Things like that, you know? You feel me? But thanks for asking, Tom. Of course, for people who doesn't understand the context, Tom Schlosser has been a friend since 2012, 2013. We used to hang around a lot, and then when the crisis happened, because he began to feel that, oh my God, they are gonna screw the immigrants. And that actually happened. It was like, we are here to support, we are here to help. And he helped a lot. And I cannot stress enough how much his help has been fundamental during all these years, during all these times. Always having each other's back. And things that has been going on. Giving always a word of advice. And it's always good to say thank you when people is still alive, to pay tribute when people is still alive. So I hope things are doing fine on your end, Tom. I know that you got a new job, that you are getting more bread coming. So go after the bread, go get some dog, get your money, get your bag, you earn it. Thank you, Tom. Okay, let's keep writing some other ones. Uh, Mari Al-Katani from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He's actually enjoying some of the memes that has been sending, but he's also very happy that things are somehow doing okay, doing fine. So for people who doesn't understand the context, we used to share some projects back in our days in College Station when he was doing his program, and it was like, okay, let's keep things moving around, and it was also a good way to do a cultural exchange, because from somebody from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, knowing somebody who was originally from Ecuador, learning about the Latin culture, or even trying to see some friendly matches in the States was important. Actually, I remember it was during the summer of 2011 that we go to Arlington, Texas to see Barcelona play America, Mexico. So you see in one side you got Chucho Benitez, who was still alive, from Ecuador, playing in America, of Mexico. And then you have on the other side, you have Barcelona with all the stars. With it, that was the Pep Guardiola Barcelona, with everybody. And people went totally crazy. So you can imagine that. And of course, it was the time that I heard that he has to transfer to Penn State because of some issues with his management, and then he moved to Riyadh again. But it's been always like, okay, catching up despite of what has been going on. So imagine, since 2011 until now, still catching up. I hope things are doing fine, Mary. I hope things are doing fine. Maybe one day I can visit there. I hope so. Maybe during the World Cup. Who doesn't know? I mean, who knows? It would be nice. It would be nicer to be around during the World Cup. I hope you are also doing fine, man. What else? Oh yeah. What about this? I received also a message and also some videos that people are traveling and they are like, okay, for some reason inspired. I don't know. And one of those is Johannes, who sent me some videos that he's right now traveling to Germany or things like that. And it's like, congratulations, man. You're doing fine with those trips, man. And I want to bring a thankful note to Johannes publicly, because during the ice storm of Texas, I got a lot of trouble because the place I was living around got no electricity. And you imagine being with no electricity for a week, and there was ice outside. It was minus 25, minus 20 Celsius outside, snow, ice, no electricity, almost no running water. Things were awful, and Johannes was like, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna come clutch in the 11th hour and save the day. So that's what Johannes did. So thank you, Johannes. Thank you very much. And you have no idea how much you saved. Maybe I'm gonna be actually writing something in the future about that specific day. It was Tuesday morning, or it was Tuesday night. Tuesday night, February 16, 2021. That was so important because I was this close, this very, very close to being in huge trouble. I would say huge trouble, very huge. So thank you, Johannes. Thank you for saving that day. And I guess we have nothing else at this moment to talk. Maybe also a thankful note for people who helped back in the later part of summer, beginning of fall of 2021. For example, Wara Bocangel. Thank you, sister, for your help and how you helped craft the story to start sending the messages. Thank you to Seth Podohertz, who was one of the first people to say, I'm gonna chip in, I'm gonna help, because this is unfair of what is going on. You're gonna be there, you're gonna start moving, you're gonna start making things happening. And everybody who was also involved in this process. What about Cormier and all his insights, how his calls and things are alright, or how are everything going on? Like, let me know if you have something. Or what about that last phone call that we had back in before my trip, that he was actually about to testify to the North Dakota Ministry Commission again, and just trying to catch up because we really wanted to do like a like a pre-recording of this podcast series, and people is busy, and he was actually on the airplane, going there to do the to testify, to do the hearing, and everybody who was around that time and saying how things are going, how we can help. So thank you very much, and there is many things that we want to do at this moment, but I guess this is enough for now. This has been a reflection episode. I wanted to find a nice background. People who doesn't know what is that is the South China Sea, and we can literally see some stuff from there. I guess the border will be with it's gonna be with Sarawak, it's gonna be with Thailand, Cambodia, Philippines, and then you have China. So there is something to learn about it. This area got some mosquitoes, but also some good deal of weather, some good deal of humidity. We did a lot of hiking, we did a lot of sustainability. We did also some saving the turtles. We actually helped some turtles to find their way. And we did some good numbers, good presentations, and good things. So if you have the chance, apply to the program. You will earn a lot. There is always scholarships going on. There is always opportunities. And for people who will say that, but you don't have the money. But money is not the trouble. Because when someone wants something, they always find the money. So don't make that an excuse. Go and get it. All right? When someone wants something, they always find the money. So you can pick the phone, you can start reaching out some people. Last but not least, hey, I forgot about Ibrahim. Ibrahim sent me a message, like he was very happy to see the episode with Christine back in the day, and he was like, I hope things are doing fine, and for things that to bring something in context, thank you Ibrahim for your note. He was one of the members of our research team with Christine back in 2010, and we did a lot of research in shale gas, and he is a friend from New Jersey. He actually traveled to College Station to do his undergrad there. Then he went to Occidental in Bakersfield, California, and went back to do his master's. And he was doing internships as well. He ended up in Chevron, and now I guess he's in Occidental. So he has been asking how things been going, and things have been doing very fine. I cannot stress enough about his advice. He, Ibrahim, as a Muslim, and myself as a Christian, we realized that despite our differences, we have common things, and we can always be on the same page. And actually, I consider him a very close friend as well. So thank you for the note, Ibrahim. And of course, I can send you some of the videos that you can always see what is going on. What else? Oh, I forgot. There is this other note that is about Colonel Joshi. Colonel Joshi asked, how are things right there? How are the semiconductor business going? Well, semiconductors are going up. I learned that there are some companies like Texas Instruments, they want to open semiconductors foundries and even superconductors foundries in the Malacca station. And I would say that those are part of the good things on hardware and tech, because people want to go into the tech part for software, but hardware usually delivers more return. It takes a little longer, but it's like everybody wants to have their best phone, and the best phone has the best microprocessor chip, which is made from semiconductor foundries. So that's what is going on. And people who doesn't know who is Krunal, he was also a friend that we shared in the program. He did his undergrad and also his master's in Texas A&M, and he is right now getting into the Bitcoin mining. So we helped with give some numbers on advice as a consulting for his new venture. I hope things are going fine on the Bitcoin mining. He even showed me some land that his partners and him are gonna have in Katy, which is like 25 minutes from west from Houston, Texas, and I really hope things are doing fine there. I cannot stress enough because I saw the ups and downs of the crypto market. Well, also to end in a high note, I want to send a very thankful note to mom and dad who have been surviving very hard things, and I hope that the family is doing well. I want also to send thanks to Stephen and Michelle Cortez, who are right there in Greensboro, North Carolina. I want also to send thanks to the cousins that are living in Guayaquil. I hope things are doing fine. Pretty much that's it. And if you want to talk, pick the phone, send me a message, and we can talk. There is no excuse at all. There is no excuse to miss somebody. Pick the phone, talk, or send a message, and we can set up a Zoom call or whatever. Or if you're in town, come and visit. What about visiting other areas? So, that is that. See ya when I see ya.